Welcome, everyone. This is the MasterClass. My name is Patricknazareth. I have around 30 years of experience in teaching, and I would like to help dispel your doubts, should you have any. Today, we are going to look at the chapter The Cookie Lady, written by the author Philip K. Dick. Philip K. Dick was born in 1928 in Chicago, died in 1982 after being raised in California. He is considered one of the most influential science fiction authors of the 20th century. His books like Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, The Man in the High Castle, and We Can Remember It For You Wholesale have been adapted into successful movies. He writes on the hidden horrors that we find in the cities, the towns. He has his ability to find the extraordinary in the ordinary. He looks at how fragile human identities are, and he tries to explore the question of what is it that makes us human beings. We start with a young boy, Bernard. He is called Bubba. He is going to visit an old lady. He is being teased by a friend of his who is delivering papers. He walks up the street. He goes to this house. This house is in a very badly kept condition, almost falling down. Weeds in the garden. It is unkempt. As he walks past the gate, the smell of cookies come to him. The door opens and we see an old lady waiting to welcome Bubba inside. He sees a plate of cookies, freshly baked. She invites him in, gives him cookies and a tall glass of cold milk. They sit down together and he begins to eat. He has finished the cookies and he looks longingly at the ones that are left. She tells him, "Don't worry, you can have it all when you are ready to go home. For now, would you please read to me?" And he reads to her from one of his books about geography. Mrs. Drew is an old, tired woman leading a lonely existence. She herself doesn't know why she invited Bubba into her house. She has been coming to her house for around a month now. She makes the cookies especially for him so that he would keep on coming and provide her some companionship. While he is reading to her, something very strange happens. The old lady begins to change. Her ears start to drop away from her. Her skin begins to improve. Her muscles begin to come back. Her face begins to grow lighter. Her wrinkles vanish. She changes into a lady of 30. Suddenly, the spell is broken. The boy has stopped reading. He has gone into the kitchen and is picking up the rest of the cookies. He asks her permission to leave. She tells him, "Of course, will I see you tomorrow?" And he tells her that yes, you will. And when he goes, she can feel herself changing again. That lady is now becoming old again. The process is working in reverse. She can feel her face getting wrinkled again. She can feel every part of her body aging. He goes home. His parents notice that the boy is looking very tired and they ask him where he has been, and they are told that he was at the old lady's place. The father tells him, "You are not to go there anymore." "But I promised her that I would," the boy replies. The mother says, "Fine, you can go there one last time, but after this you're not allowed to go there anymore." The boy agrees. The father is not happy, but the mother tells him, "Don't worry, it will be the last time tomorrow." The next day, he is on his way back to the old lady. He passes the drugstore. He sees the sodas being sold over there. He sees the food being sold over there. And he walks faster. He's looking forward to his plate of cookies. He goes to the old lady's house. When he enters the house, he notices that the table which used to be between him and the old lady is not there any longer. Both the chairs are drawn close together. The old lady pops the cookie batter in the oven and comes back. Asks the boy, "Won't you read to me, Bernard?" The boy says, "I haven't bought any books." She says, "Not a problem. I will give you one." Bubba tells the old lady that, "Listen, ma'am, I'm sorry, but this will be the last time I can visit you because my father has stopped me from coming to see you." The old lady trembled with fear. She controlled herself with difficulty. No more Bernard? Was she to grow old again? Was she never to feel the joy that his being there gave her? And she goes ahead, gives him a book, and he begins to read. She tells him, "I hope you don't mind if I touch you while you read." And the boy says, "Of course, not at all. It makes no difference to me." While he is reading, the old lady touches him. That direct contact revitalizes her. She can feel herself getting younger. She can feel the energy, the life force coming into her body. the old lady starts to undergo a transformation again. Her years drop away, her wrinkles vanish. She becomes stronger. The boy gets up, ready to go. She can feel the change, but the boy cannot. All he can think about is his cookies. Mrs. Drew happily gets up hearing Bubba's request. Her voice has become full again. She's feeling full of energy again. And she almost goes dancing to the kitchen and gives him cookies. The lady rushes into her bedroom. She examines herself in the mirror and she can see she has become young. Today, her vitality, her life force remains the same. Her age is not increasing. She opens the door. Poor Bubba is standing there. His mouth is stuffed with cookies. His pockets are filled with them. She can see he has become white. There is something wrong about him. But she doesn't care. She says, I hope I will see you again. And the boy, trusting, says, but my father told me this is the last time I will come. She is not upset at all. She says, that's okay. If you can, please make it again. And he goes. She watches him move slowly down the stairs. She goes to her bedroom and steps out of her clothes. She touches every part of her body. Her muscles are no longer sagging. Her body is firm and smooth. She decides to have a bath. She decides to indulge herself. Bubba is on his way home. Somehow he feels very, very tired. He is exhausted. He can barely move one step before the other. But he knows he's got to get home. So he pushes himself. He finds the going increasingly hard. He's getting more and more tired. In the meantime, the father and mother of young Bernard are worried. Where is the boy? Why hasn't he come home? And the father promises the mother that, listen, when my son comes home, he is going to get a good smacking. They are waiting. The father hears a tapping at the door. He is worried. He goes and opens the door. And there is nothing over there. Just tumbleweed, a bundle of rags, and it blows away. The father doesn't realize that that is all that remains of his son. Who are the characters in this story then? Bernard Searle, also called Bubba. He's a chubby, simple boy. He's driven primarily by his appetite. He's an extremely innocent boy. You have Mrs. Drew. We initially see her as a harmless, lonely lady. She lives in a rundown house. Later on, she is revealed as a predator. May and Ralph Searle, who are Bubba's parents, they know that something is wrong, but they cannot see the threat that is there in front of them. Ernie Mill, another child who is teasing Bubba about his visits to the old lady. What are the settings for this story? The first, Mrs. Drew's house, which is located at the end of Elm Street. We are taken to its interior, the kitchen, the living room, the bedroom. The Searle home, the typical middle-class family home. We have a dining room, a living room, and upstairs bedrooms. The neighborhood, with names like Elm Street and Pine Street. You have McQueen's drugstore. It has a soda fountain. Basically, your typical small town. What are the literary devices? There is dramatic irony. We, the readers, understand what is going on. We can see how the boy is being harmed, but we cannot do anything. We can only witness the exchange of life forces. Symbolism is there. The cookies that are used as bait to bring Bernard to the old lady. You have the grey dried weeds around Mrs. Drew's house that shows what will be the fate of Bubba. The transformation from human being to a bundle of weeds, which symbolize the drain of life force away from Bubba. There is foreshadowing. How Mrs. Drew is described as dried up. How Bubba is increasingly exhausted after each visit. And how Mrs. Drew moves the chair next to the couch and removes the table entirely. Juxtaposition. There is innocence in the activity of reading and eating cookies. But the energy that is being drained is almost vampiric in its nature. There is metaphor. Mrs. Drew is being described as the weeds to dried or lifeless vegetation, which basically constrict and kill other plants. Euphemism. The story never tells us what Mrs. Drew is doing, but it tells us that how she is feeling increasing warmth, how she can feel youngness flowing into us. There is the motive of transformation itself. It's a dual transformation. Mrs. Drew is growing younger, Bubba is growing older and weaker. That drives the narrative tension. What are the themes in this story then? Firstly, relationships Are all relationships good for you? In this chapter, it shows us how someone who pretends to be kind can actually be very harmful to us. Youth versus age. We are all going to die, but the fear of dying, the fear of losing a youth, drives Mrs. Drew to try and do anything to get it back. Innocence and vulnerability. Bubba, the boy, is a very simple and naive person. His desires like food and his very innocence is used against him, and he becomes easy prey for Mrs. Drew. Isolation and loneliness. Whether we look at Bubba or we look at Mrs. Drew, both of them are isolated, both of them are lonely. But instead of coming together as friends, Mrs. Drew uses Bubba as a means to become young again. Parental protection versus freedom. It's not like Bubba is given all the freedom to do what he wants. The parents do try to protect him. But unfortunately, even though they know there is something wrong, they don't understand what it is. By the time they decide to do something about it, it is too late to help Bernard. Horror hidden in plain sight tells us how terrible things can happen in normal everyday settings. Consumption and gluttony. It's used in a both literal and a metaphorical sense. Literally, Bubba is greedy for cookies. Metaphorically, Mrs. Drew is greedy for life. She wants to live longer. She wants her youth and her life back. That's the chapter there for you then. I do hope I have been able to help. If I have, please remember to like, subscribe and share. There might be others who would be requiring our help. Thank you so much for watching.